Hey y'all, it's Nick the Paladin here. I just want to make a video because I got a question on my previous video about lower item level players and the potential struggle they may have when they are trying to level up their enchantments and just not having all the resources and just definitely the struggles of being a new player, or just finally got to what the old build would have been finally the threshold for endgame, and then just being slapped with another change right there, which totally does happen in this game. But I just wanted to make this video so I can try to help guide, definitely in this, newer players that are pretty much what this character is. At like 28, he was at 28k or so item level, and show that he can get to 40k with all of the items that's available that they've made for just running content. So I just want to get into it, and let's roll with that so I can first answer that first part of his question of seeing where can we help with this, and then he had a second question about which is the best enchants to use and such like that. We'll actually we'll just go into it right now. So the enchant wise, it's really, to me, it's always up to you all what you want to run. You're talking about, different kinds of enchantments. I didn't really spend too much time in preview looking at that because I already knew a lot of people would be making content about that, and that's great. So if they say that the Curse Burn for AoE is the best enchantment for your combat enchantment, that's great. I would run that. And if they're saying Poison Thorn for single is the best, that's great. You should do it. I would listen to them because they spend a lot of time testing these things. So I would probably say that makes sense. But the main question was, with being newer players or players that don't have a lot of resources, they're not going to be like the people who are playing end game that has enough resources to do both of these builds of AoE or single, or like if you were a healer / tank like paladins are, like me. And I totally get that. So I definitely would say to that, you need to choose one path and stick to it. If it was personally me doing DPS, again, you can do whatever you want. I would choose a single target. The single target, majority of most dungeons consist of a single boss. So, you're fighting 1v1, some kind of boss sometime in a dungeon where you actually need to burst DPS them down, which single target mindset, to me, that just makes perfect sense to be the first one that you level up. Then you can just level up your AoE build, so you can just do crazy amount of damage during trash mobs and just get a lot of more DPS where your numbers look crazy good and all that, and that's great. But I think overall, just helping the group or the trial that you're running with the single target, you're going to do potentially a lot more damage. That's just my mind kind of working right there. You can do whatever you want, but I think that's probably the best way to go. Just like right now, I looked at the combats for heals, and I'm not really seeing too much. I hear that they're going to make some more, so I'm just going to be using my combat, the combat enchant for what my tank build is into my heal build. So that's pretty much what I'm just going to do until I see that. So I don't really think it's too crazy just to try to focus on one and just keep going there. So hopefully that answered your question right there for that. Then the item level, to try to help lower level players who are just trying to increase their item levels. The big thing is, as you can see here, for the next 7 days, your enchantments are all legendary. They are just going to give it to you for the next 7 days. It says remaining lifespan is already ticking down for me. So you need to utilize this because, like I said, my character was like 28k item level. I'm at 40k because all these enchantments I have 10 enchantments that give me item level, these 9, and then the companion. That gives me 12k, so that's the reason why I roughly know it's like 28k. So I made this character just so I can test and just show, like if I was starting out, how I would do it, and just kind of have fun with, just trying to see the struggle, because I've been playing for quite a few years and you kind of forget that struggle. So it's always great to kind of go back to it so you can understand new players and how it feels. So this guy I built up mainly just with, the leveling adventure AD and the free stuff that we got from the 20 weeks of, free items. So the big thing that you want to do with your 7 days, like I said in the previous video, which I don't want to get into much, is just trying to get, the green enchants from the Sage shop. Then you want to just try to get into the new campaign so you can get all of the new gear. There's rings in there that will be 1300 item level. So if you have just the little rings here, that's 600 item level. If you keep doing the campaign, there's 1400 item level pants, so that will beat most of the pants and shirts that you currently have by just running the new content, where you'll get your item level will be 45k all the way to January 25th. So if you run this current week, the new week start every Monday, you can get up to 300. If January 25th is on a Tuesday, so if you run it till Monday to Tuesday, if you try to get as far as you can go, if you can get to the 900, that's amazing. But if you can try to get all the way there, then the last bit, as long as you started the campaign, you can go back into it. So that last 100 or so would be much easier to get, even if you are like 38, 39, item level, and then that will get you what you really want, which is, come on, show, there we go, this artifact set. So you can get 1500 level belt, neck, and then a 200 level artifact. So that would be really nice to help boost up your item level. And then you just get some nice perks from just, actually running this campaign. Then, with just you doing that, changing your enchantments, doing all of the seals. So, the seal vendor here. Let's go to the seals of the north. If you just save your seals of the north by running random trial, random epic dungeon, you see you get 1600. That's about 5 weeks if you can run both of those, a little bit longer if you can only do the epic dungeon. But for getting a pretty darn good weapon and getting it high item level, it's a pretty well worth reward compared to other kind of high grind situations that you have to go through. So I think that would be very well utilized. And then Seals of the Wild, you can just get your, by running random skirmish and regular leveling dungeons, random, you can just get it there, and you can just get those, and they could be 1600 item level. So I get 400 each one. That's 1600 item level right there from there. And about I have 975, so 800 and some a piece. So we're talking about 3200 item level just from the right side. And then if I changed out the waist and the neck and the rings, I mean, we're talking quite a bit of item level just in this page alone. it's already known if you have all greens in here, plus the companion, that's 4,300 item level. So that's why I say it's pretty doable to get your item level pretty high up back to where you are currently. That I'm just trying to do a quick nutshell because I'm just trying to do on the spot video here to help this guy and just help out other lower level people. But if other ways, if you haven't tried to increase your item level, just try to get a legendary mount. A legendary mount on the auction house, whatever the current one from the lockbox is, it's usually pretty cheap. They cost about 400 and some K. So that's 4 days of you maxing out your 100K AD, rough AD that you can get, and then you can slot it into your combat mount, and then you can just do your actual mount slot, and both of them, as you can see, they have item level with it. You just try to find the one that has the highest item level, and then you just slot it in there so you can get a pretty good boost right there. This is probably the best way when you're lower item level to get a nice good boost up. Then yeah, I think it's pretty easy from just doing the leveling that you can get a epic companion. So the one thing I will say when you're starting out is it is great to think about those companions that you want to go for. You know, that is great. You definitely watch the videos on people on which companion you want to get. But if you have companions that, you know, my God, if you got lucky and got a legendary companion from different kind of events that's been going on, that's great. Slot them. Doesn't care what power they are, just slot them. That's going to be the best thing since you'll get more item level. If you have epics, just slot any kind of epic you have so you can just get as much item level as you can. Because I've helped plenty of players that just didn't think about these things right here. So please do that. That will help your item level greatly. But overall, in a nutshell, that is how you're pretty much going to raise up your item level pretty good just alone in these next days, as long as you start that campaign. And the reason why I keep wanting to try to say 40K is such a good start point, because you can do random trial right there. You can do, if you do Sharandar campaign and you do the first, the actual first chapter, after that you can do Vault of the Stars. You can, don't know how well you're going to do Vault of the Stars with the stuff that you have, but you can do, I've ran people who just turned 40K doing mini vault runs where you just fight this first mini boss before the main first boss, and you can just kind of get more acclimated with group content and just try to get better, you know, just skills. But I think overall that is pretty much on how to boost up your item level. And then the one thing that, since it's newer, because I definitely do say if you have not got the if you don't have no enchantments, I would say get green. That's something that you should stress about. However, if you do get, if you're saving up your AD, because I would just, for the next 7 days, just save up all the AD that you got. Go to the auction house, go to refinement, type in combat, and see where this is at. The combat/companion enchantment, okay? You want to look for the epic. If the legendary one is down like this, that's great. For the first, you know, couple weeks, week or so, it could be pretty quick. People are going to flood the auction house with items, so that people trade in. So this is one of the, if you traded in your enchantments, things you can, you know, it's not account bound, so these packs are the epic version, and then the legendary just has the other combat/companion, while the more sought out ones is the rare rank 2, because it has the enchantments in it, while the higher tier ranks don't have enchantments. So that's why they're a little bit lower. However, as a new player, you are going to have a 1,000 item level combat enchantment. But if you could get for a pretty good deal a 2,000 item level gain, that would be something that you could probably, you know, in the run of trying to get your item level up quickly, that would be a huge gain right there. Then you can do random events, and you know, you can do bell runs and Valenhaus and just get quite a bit of rough astral diamonds, and then you can just get the remaining enchantments for 100k at the Sage shop here in Protector's Enclave. I explained where it's at in my last video, so if you don't know where it's at, please go there. But when I saw this on the auction house, this is going to be a nice find right here. Another thing, just trying to help overall, is if you are, because again, I just want to think about any kind of player in this video. If you're looking for like mounts right here, I mean, the Frost, someone posted that, wow, really cheap. But you can be getting quite a bit of legendary mounts to help out your bolster go up by just buying 400 and some K item level. That's pretty much a week. You just can keep getting a new one. So that's the reason why I say you can slot it pretty easily there. So it shouldn't be your main stress, but once you have everything, this could be the next easiest thing to get your bolster up, which is just account-wide legendary mounts. And the big thing is, if these kind of go up a little bit in price, I wouldn't worry too much, because there's an event called the Nox box, where it is Sergeant Nox has a lockbox of his own, and legendary account mounts drop like hotcakes in there. So you're easily going to see these prices going back down in the future, so it's just a waiting game. If you do not have resources, I explained in my last video about getting resources. Please utilize doing legacy campaign, quest, do events. You need to get those glyphs. The big thing is the Coalescent Wars, the new Coalescent Wars that they do. You want to pray each day on all of your alts, your main. If you cannot stay on all day, or not all day, but at least quite a few hours, because if you pray, at first time you pray, you get a coin, and then if you pray all the way for like, I think it's like equivalent of like 4 hours or so. I haven't really done the math, but it's quite a bit of a time if you're on this game. Then after you do the last one at 90-minute cooldown, you'll get a second coin for the day. So if you can't be on all the time like me, then at least just praying once a day and just getting the one coin on all your characters. Then these are account bound, so you can collect them and put them on one character, and then once you have, I'm a big hoarder, so I like to just get like 20 or so, and then I open them, and then you have a chance. I'm not saying it's like an amazing chance, but you have a chance of getting the Coalescent mode, because the Coalescent mode is the only way that you can, as you know, it's a 100% successful way, which you want it to be, to upgrade an enchantment. So that's why I'm saying if you can at least acquire one and you can get the epic for a good price, then instead of your 3,000 item level one item, you'll have one that's 4,000, because the legendary is at 4,000. So I did not talk about these in artifacts. If you do not have, because you should easily have 2 artifacts right here. If you don't have 2 other artifacts, just go on the auction house, do some kind of event. They're all 100 item level now, so that's an easy 200 item level right there as well. So as you can see, 200 item level right there could have been the difference between me not being 40k or not. So every little bit counts. I really wouldn't worry too much about reinforced, because you don't really want to reinforce something that you're not going to keep, one, and that's only about 400 and some item level. So there are definitely other ways to get it, but I hope that this video really helps a lot of people. I definitely know with a new mod there's a lot of struggles. Please message me if there's any more additional information that you need. So I am on mainly Central Time, so if there is anybody that needs assistance, please send me a message. I am not hidden, so you can just press, if you don't know how to search for somebody, you press O, find person, you type in Nick, and then I'm pretty darn sure you can find me at that point. I am on a alt right now, so this is on a different account, so I don't think I want to show myself at that point. So, but if you just type in Nick, I should come up at that point. But that's how you do it. Thank you all for so much for the positive feedback on my last video. Really appreciate it. If you need to run, dungeons, if you have to run the new campaign, and you need some help, please send me a message. If you need an alliance, like the same mentality like this, please come join us at Knights Radiant. We pretty much want to help people grow. We do not care what kind of item level you are. We just want to try to help you, whatever kind of threshold of fun that you want. We want to try to achieve that. So please come join us. If you have any questions, please message me. Thank you.